Right. Well, over the years, the manufacturing industry has been inching closer to lights out manufacturing, or a manufacturing plant that basically runs by itself. Part of that equation, obviously, is inspection or measurement. So while dimensional inspection still requires some human intervention in decision making for now, a lot of that is being automated. So more and more you're seeing measurement equipment streamline how inspection plans, for instance, are created and executed, and how that in turn feeds into closed loop measure, analyze, control systems. Connectivity, software interfaces, and the user experience are every bit as important nowadays as the measurement hardware itself. And in some cases, you might argue maybe even more important. Mm-hmm. Because those, the software and the user experience, user interface, those are what help close the loop between measurement and control. And that's what you need if you can have an automated factory. So here to talk with us a bit about measurement automation is Jonathan O'Hare, technology expert with Hexagon Manufacturing Intelligence. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello.
So your company, Hexagon Manufacturing Intelligence, Hexagon in general, manufactures a lot of really high-end, precise measurement equipment. We go to your show, Hexagon Live, almost every year, and it's just amazing what's out there. And yet, in your article, you basically focus on not the hardware, but the software. PC-DEMIS, Inspect, Pulse, these are all kind of software solutions from Hexagon. So my question is, in this field, in the measurement field, is the actual measurement hardware becoming more of a commodity, and it's the software that's becoming the differentiator, the selling point?
Yes, I believe that's true to some extent. And particularly, I've noticed it myself over the past 20 years or so that it has really plateaued. I mean, the improvements that you see in the hardware are things like fractions of a micron in terms of performance, and maybe you can knock a minute or two off your measurement cycle, but all in all, the measurement hardware has reached a level where there's very minimal or marginal improvements at this point, and a lot of the big game-changing improvements are in the software. I think the way software is being integrated with hardware nowadays is indicative of that trend in manufacturing as well. We can look at things, for example, like home thermostats. Now we have smart thermostats, and maybe there's a property manager that doesn't have to go 10 miles out of his way to check a thermostat because he can look at it on his phone. So these are the same types of things that are being applied in manufacturing, and there's huge savings. There's a huge value savings in that, and that's where the efficiencies are being gained, and that's where there are being leaps being made ahead.
So Jonathan, as Dirk mentioned in his intro to this interview, the industry is really kind of slowly moving towards a lights-out manufacturing platform. So can you describe Hexagon's software or connectivity products and how they tie into that goal?
Yes, one good example is Pulse. So we have Pulse, which is a monitoring software for all the aspects of machine during operation, the environmental effects, anything that might prevent the smooth operation of that system is monitored, and the data is transmitted and communicated to various people that can help that process. So I think when you look at it in philosophy, products like Pulse are moving us closer towards what we consider a lights-out manufacturing process. However, in our case, we're still talking about supervision of the manufacturing process, not completely lights out. We're looking more for conveniences to be able to intervene in those processes. So we don't yet achieve complete hands-off experience, but we're getting there.
Now, I mean, so along with this, I guess we should put in is asset utilization. I mean, when a company spends hundreds of thousands of dollars or maybe even millions of dollars on a wide suite of measurement equipment, that's a lot of money. They want utilization. They want that equipment to be running 24/7 if possible, so they can get the most bang for their buck. Does Hexagon address that part of it as well, maximizing utilization?
Yes, absolutely. And this goes back to what we've been talking about is the two ways that you can address utilization is that you can make technical improvements in the hardware and in the system, And the other way you can do that is you can make improvements in the workflow methodologies. And what we've been finding is that with smart software, you can really make huge improvements in the workflow methodologies, and that is greatly overtaking any improvements that you can make technically at this point. There's such huge strides being made that that's really the direction.
Okay. Now I know, kind of looking forward a little bit. I know, Hexagon listens a lot to their customers. We've had your user experience, the head of your user experience team, Milan Kocic. He's been on the show, and I know he's very active in soliciting feedback from your customers. So, what do you think are some of the must-haves that customers are asking for in future measurement systems?
Yeah, well, without getting into all the little details of things that they request, if I can generalize, I would say that people are asking for easier ways to view and manage their information. And this goes back to the smart technology that we've been talking about, the IoT, the Internet of Things, and better communication. Not only collecting the data, but being able to communicate it and send it to people so they can use it. What they want is hassle-free management of their assets. And they want all the information at their fingertips, no matter where they are and what they're doing.
Okay, and we have a webinar coming up next week with you. It's going to be titled "How to Execute Inspection Plans in Closed Loop Manufacturing." We got a couple of minutes here. Can you just tell us a little bit, maybe what we're going to cover in that webinar? I mean, when you talk about inspection plans and closed loop manufacturing, how do those tie together?
Okay, well, yeah, what I'm going to talk about there is, I think in the previous session, we talked about the planning process and how that was a workflow that helped facilitate a closed loop manufacturing process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by discussing, what exactly is a closed loop manufacturing process, and what processes does that really apply to, and then how can we what types of tools can we use, software tools, to make the steps within that closed loop itself more efficient? Previously I spoke about workflows that help set it up to actually implement it in the first place. But when it's in process, when it's running, how do we make that more effective and more efficient? And so we have software tools to do this. Some of the ones I've already mentioned today, like Pulse. We're going to talk a little bit more about those products and how they actually fit into that scheme.
Okay, so as I mentioned, Jonathan will be presenting a webinar with us titled "How to Execute Inspection Plans in Closed Loop Manufacturing." That's going to be next Tuesday, June 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. So y'all want to kind of get signed up for that. There is a link in Jonathan's article that'll take you out to the sorry, my ear was going bonkers there. That'll take you a link that'll take you out where you can sign up for that. Webinar. So again, it's going to deal with closed loop inspection and inspection plans and how to implement that within your facility. So, Jonathan, we will see you on Tuesday.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jonathan. Talk to you later.